Certified most accurate. Now your TV5 First Alert forecast.
Good Thursday evening, Mid-Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick with your Thursday forecast update. The severe weather outlook remains largely unchanged for the TV5 viewing area. The enhanced risk zone has been nudged ever so slightly into portions of Isabella, Gratiot, and also Shiawassee County, but the time frame remains mostly the same. We have trimmed it up just a little bit to around 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the morning. Wind and large hail, the main concerns for us, but there continues to be a slight chance for a tornado if a storm can access some of those better ingredients towards ground level. Right now, it appears most of them could be elevated storms cut off from that, but that possibility is still there, so we will be watching that closely. We are dry tonight. As we take a look at areas to our west, there are several severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, and all of these are embedded within a couple of tornado watches that have been issued as well. We will see the progress of these storms as we go throughout the night, and there may be additional watches issued, especially for West Michigan, as we go through the course of the next couple of hours. So we're dry through 8:30. Most of our night is going to be dry up until about 10 o'clock, and then we start seeing storms move in closer to some of our western zones. Notice the intensity here. We've got the possibility of some heavy downpours, and it also looks like a well put together line of thunderstorms. But as we move off to the east, there are certain sections of this line that seem to lose at least a little bit of intensity, and I think what you're seeing there is just the natural progression as we go throughout the night. There's not as much fuel once we get further into the night, and that's why we've been talking about at least the potential for a small weakening trend. That doesn't necessarily mean we can't see severe weather. There's just a much better chance of stronger storms on the west side of the state. There's a little bit more of a question as to how intense they'll be once they arrive here. As we go into the overnight hours, that's when we expect some of these storms to move into the thumb. Notice at least a few of them seem to be keeping their intensity as well before pushing off to the east as we get closer to about 2 o'clock in the morning. Another concern with some of these storms tonight is the rotation potential that they have. Notice we've seen plenty of it projected in areas to the west where we're already seeing some of those tornado warnings, but some of that does move into portions of West Michigan, and some of it even moves into our western counties too. You'll notice it fades away as it moves off to the east. That also seems to be illustrating the weakening trend with the loss of daytime heating. I want you also to know that rotation doesn't necessarily mean tornadic when it comes to storms. They can rotate and just produce areas of hail, so that's something that we'll be watching for tonight too. Your severe weather outlook does show that we also have a risk for strong storms on Friday night. Those are likely to produce some strong wind gusts as they come through. That's a marginal risk, so we expect it to be a little bit more isolated than our threat for tonight. We also expect it to be a similar time frame. Much of the day is dry and sunny, and then once we get further into Friday evening, you'll start to see some storms on the west side of the state. Some of those try to move in late tomorrow night, but it's also one of those profiles in the atmosphere where even some of these what look like showers could produce some gusty winds as they move through as well. Your temperatures as we go through tonight are expected to drop off to the 50s and 60s. Tomorrow, expecting mostly lower and middle 80s to the west. Areas even farther to the east will have a chance to be a little bit warmer tomorrow with a southwesterly wind. Your TV5 First Alert 7-day forecast shows after Friday, things get much cooler into the weekend, expecting mostly upper 50s and low 60s as we go into early next week.
Stay with WNEM TV5 on air, on the go, and online for more news and weather updates.